Hey, what's up everyone, welcome again to another video. So on this video we're going to talk about the Django Rest Framework. So this is the crash course how we can build our API using the Django Rest Framework. So if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing, liking and sharing this content. We have shortage of subscribers to reach 1,000 subscribers, so support this channel by liking, subscribing and sharing this content. So without further words, let's get started. So first of all, I'm assuming that everyone knows how to start a Django project. So if you don't know that, I'm going to show you just in a very fast way, in a very simple few steps. So just to get started, you need to create a folder inside your work development folder, and then you need to add this folder to your VS Code. Then after adding this folder to your VS Code, so for me it is called REST API, and then navigate to your folder. So you should be inside your folder. Then here you need to create a virtual environment. So you just write virtual env, then the name of your virtual environment. For me it is vnv. So we have an error here. Of course, you should not put a space, it should be vnv and then dot. So we have already created our virtual environment, as you can see here. Now it's time to install our Django. So just navigate to scripts/activate. Of course, you need to go in your vnv folder to activate the virtual environment. So as you can see here, our virtual environment has been activated. Now let's clear this and let us install Django. So write pip install. Of course, let's go back to our folder first, then pip install Django. Okay, now it takes some time. Now Django is installing, as you can see here. Of course, let's wait. Yeah, of course Django has been installed. Now as you can see, let's just start our project and let us call it REST. Of course, just Django admin start project and let us call it API. So it should be inside this particular folder. That's why I'm putting a dot in front. As you can see here, we have settings.py and the manage.py is there. So let us start our app. So just write Django manage, it's Python manage.py start app, and let us call it API underscore app. As you can see now, we have our app here. It's called API underscore app. Of course, let us run our server to see if everything is working fine. Python manage.py run server. Of course, as you can see that the server is running properly. As you can see here, we have a Django default page. So this is how you can create your Django project. Of course, let us now cancel the server and install the Django Rest Framework by writing pip install Django Rest Framework without a space. As you can see, REST Framework is installing. Now we are done here. Let us just try to, we need to add some settings here. Inside the installed app, we need to add our apps. So remember, we created an app called API underscore app. We need to add here on the installed apps. So it should be API underscore app. Of course, also after installing the Django Rest Framework, we need to add it here. So that's how the documentation says. So REST underscore framework. Of course, it should be added here on our installed apps. Okay, now we are done with the settings.py. Let us see how we can create our models. Okay, so if you want to create your model, let us go to our API, and then let us go to the folder models.py, and let us start by creating our models. So we are creating a class, and let us call it student, and then models.model, and then let us declare the name for student. Of course, we need the name, and then this is going to be a character field called field, and the maximum length should be 100. Now let us create a grade, which is models.field. Of course, should be integer field, and then let us create the location, which is a character feed, and then it's models.character feed and maximum length of 100. Of course, we need to define the underscore str, and then we should return self.name. Now this one, of course, should return self.name. Yes, let us create another class which we call it course. So class course, and then it should pass a models.model, and then let us create the name of the course. Should be a character feed models.charfield, and then the maximum length should be 100. And then let us create a teacher. So models.charfield maximum length equals to 100. Okay, here also we define a underscore str, so we should return the particular name, and then we pass self, and then should return self. Of course, it's self.name. Okay, now we are done with our models. Let us see if everything is okay, and then let us try to register our models to our admin.py. Of course, we just need to import our models. From these models we should import student and the course. So admin.site.register, we should register our student model, and then we should also register our course model here. Okay, let us save this. Now let us see if our server is still running. Python manage.py run server and see. Of course, we have some migration here, we need to migrate them. Now Python manage.py make migrations. Of course, going to ask us to migrate our course and the student model, so we migrate them, and you can see here all our migrations are okay. Now it's time to create our serializers. So let us create a new folder here to our API and call it serializers.py. So now we're going to use our REST framework. So from REST framework we should import serializers. Of course, it's serializers, and then let us import from our models. We should import our student model. Of course, it is import. Oh yes, import student, and then our course here. Now let us create a class here, and let us call it student serializer, and let us pass serializers dot model serializer. Okay, serializer. Of course, now let us create our class meta here, and let us define our model should be equal to student, and then our fields should be underscore all. Of course, we are going to include all our fields. Okay, good. Now let's create another class. It's called the class course serializers, and then let us pass our serializers dot model serializer, and then let us create our class meta. Of course, yeah, some issues here, but it's just a problem with VS Code. Let us call it class meta, and then our model should be course, and then let us define our fields should be underscore all, because you're going to include all the fields. Okay, now we are done with serializers. Let us create our view sets. So go to views.py, and then from our serializers we need to import the student serializer and the course serializer, and then we need also to import our models, the student model and the course model. Now let us create our first view set here. Just from the REST framework, of course, we need to import the view sets. Okay, import view sets, Now let us create our first class here. Of course, we're going to use the class-based views. Now we are using student view sets, and then we should pass view sets and then model view sets. Now, so we need to create a query set here, and then we should query from our model. So it is equal to students for students dot objects dot all. Okay, good. Now let us create our serializer class here. Serializer underscore class equals to student serializer. Now this is going to do all the get, the put, and the delete on our API. So let us just copy for course also. So it's going to be called course view sets, and then we just need to change here from student to course, and here to course serializer. Yes, of course, we just remember here it should be the capital S on the model view sets here. Okay, just use capital S. Now let us go to our URLs. So on the main folder we need to include our API URLs. So we need to include API underscore dot URLs, as you can see here. Now we need to go back to our API app and then create a new file called urls.py. And then this file, I'm just going to copy all of them here, and I'm going to post them to our new urls.py. And then I'm just going to delete this admin here. Okay, and then we can decide to pass data or anything. For us, let us use data, and then we should include router.urls. So I'm going to declare them later, as you can see on my screen here. So from REST framework, we need to import routers, and then from this directory, we should import the views. So we are going to import our view sets. Also, we need to define our routers here. So router equals to routers, then dot default router, then we put our parentheses, our brackets here, and then router equal dot register. We should register the student router here, R, then students, then views. Should be views dot students view sets. Okay, student view sets. Now let's create another router for courses. So router.register, then courses, and then should be views.student.course view sets. Okay, now we are done here. Let's just make sure that everything is okay. Let's try to run our server here. As you can see, our server is running. Okay, now let's go to Google and type our data, then students. As you can see, I have a beautiful API here, a REST API. And then let us try to add names here. For example, my name here, and let us grade 1, location to Dar es Salaam. If you post here, we can see we have the name. Let's change to another name, Haika, grade 2, and then let us location call it Zanzibar. If you post it here, you have a name here. Let us try for the course also. As you can see, of course, let's see, as you can see the student here by searching with the ID. For the course now, as you can see, let us add the code. Let's call it math, and then the teacher name should be John. If you post here, you have all the data here. You can even maybe try to, for the particular ID 1, you still have the course, and you can even delete it here simply. So we have put get, everything is working as required. So it's just a simple crash course, as you can see how we developed our API. So if you have further questions, leave them on the comment. So I'm going to leave all the codes on the description, and please don't forget to subscribe, like, and sharing this video. So until another time, bye bye.